trying to give a job back was met with abuse.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be fucking giving work back. Who do you think you are? Look how much money we pay you.
Yeah.
I opened it up to bleed it. You know, sometimes you just touch a pump and it just dies. It died. Christmas Eve on a Keston where there's no chance of me having a pump.
No.
And the customer's very posh, very irate because they had 16 people or something coming for.
Of course they did.
Yeah. And how I'd ruin their Christmas and they would see that I'd never work again and all this nonsense.
Oh,
right? It was, that was boiler pressure.
No, that's it.
Right? I'd love to turn up to a job and top up boiler pressure for people, right? I love it.
Yeah.
It sounds bad. I'm not there to show them that. I'm there to show an engineer how to fix something so he doesn't end up with egg on his face and feel that like,
yeah.
So welcome to Off the Job, the Trade podcast. This is our first official episode with a guest. And my name's Kieran.
And I'm Pete.
And we're happy to have Ollie from Heating Geek on the show. Welcome, mate.
Hi, Al. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
Good.
I tell you what, right? Ish, yeah.
Ish.
He's a little bit wobbly, apparently. He had a work to do, like we did at the weekend.
Like
didn't
all
you?
of us.
Good weekend.
Yeah. Nice weekend. What? So, I'll be honest. It's my fault you're here. Yeah, because Kieran don't know you. Really.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't be embarrassed by that because
I don't know anyone.
He don't know anyone.
Don't question me on any.
He don't even know what Only Fools and Horses is. He's never watched it.
Oh, I know what it is, but I've never watched it.
You've never watched it. He's never watched Only Fools and Horses. So yeah, don't be offended by that. I wanted you on here basically because through lockdown, I watched all your videos and I learned an awful lot from you. So I want to know a little bit more about you, how you got into the industry, why you started YouTube. So do you want to tell us sort of like how it began, that age-old question that people do on podcasts and that? But
yeah, so I started A-levels at school, left without my parents knowing, because back then you just could. I went into the head of year and left school.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't be bothered. I was too lazy. I went and got a job at a garage, a car garage, 2 roads from my house. And I left my house every day in a suit, going to sixth form, walked to the garage, went to the back room, folded that suit up, put it all away, put on overalls, done a day's work, basically then washed in a sink, put on a suit, walked home, acted like I've been at school all day, until one day my mum said to me, about, I want to say 6 weeks in, my mum said to me, you're getting up later and later for school every day. Because I was meant to be at school at 20 to 9. It was a train and 2 buses from my house. The garage was 2 roads from my house and I had to be there at 9. So I was rolling out of bed at 5 to 9. Yeah, just struggling to get
Should have gone to the cafe for an hour.
Exactly. So she said, you got if you're not going to put the effort in at school, you may as well leave, but you're not leaving until you get a job. So I came home that day and said, I've left school, I got a job, I'm working as a mechanic. The next week, my dad had me an interview with a gas company called TA Horn, who are no longer around. They were a really, really good company to work for. Contracting work from Barnet, East Barnet, they were based. And the rest is history. I didn't even want the job. I was happy being a mechanic.
But it's funny though, because like from a lot of engineers come out of a mechanics background. I've noticed that within the plumbing and heating industry. I used to work with a mechanic, and not a mechanic, a gas engineer, who his roots were mechanical, because I guess it sort of like goes hand in hand, didn't it? But what would you rather work on? Do you work on cars now still?
Yeah.
So what do you prefer then? You prefer boilers to cars. What would you find?
Well, boilers are easier. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I would say any mechanic, any competent mechanic could be a gas engineer.
Yeah.
And anyone who does electronics in cars will walk it.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because the pay gap's very different the way they're paid.
Yeah.
But any mechanic can be a plumber. I know that's a big statement.
No, I've thought that as well, because I've worked with people, like I said, who were basically mechanics and then become plumbers and heating engineers.
Just anything you can think of on a boiler, even the super technical boiler, like an IQ Green Valent, got the flue sensor to try and set combustion.
Yeah.
The car industry have been doing that since the 90s. Why are we, we're so far behind in the gas world, what's in a boiler compared to what's on a car.
Yeah.
you know, cars trying to reduce NOx, DPFs, EGR, that all this stuff is it's been in cars for years and years, only just making its way into boilers. Like it's the next hot thing. It's just
Was that against you being a mechanic then? Did you say you want to stay with doing mechanic?
He found his dad's MOT.
My dad forced me to get a job as a gas engineer, and at the time, I didn't want it.
Right.
I was happy where I was. All my mates are scaffolders, so they were always bugging me to come and be a scaffolder. You earn, back then, it was like you earn 80 quid, 90 quid a day while you haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
And on my first job, I earned £65 a week, £15 a day, and they didn't pay me for my college day, which was a Thursday. But I didn't start college for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
They still didn't pay me for my college day.
Blimey.
It was a year, and was about 18 months before I started college, and they only paid me 4 days a week.
It seems that's what it used to be like.
On my pay slip, it said hours 1, right, on my weekly pay slip, and I still got them. I found them recently.
Yeah.
It says 1 hour, £65. So, you know, that's how I got into the industry, and they made me. I was a storesman, so I had to issue out all the parts to all the engineers.
Yeah.
Put them on, load up vans and lorries, and so that was good in one sense because I learned every part in a boiler.
Yeah.
I had to know what a boiler stat was. I had to know the difference between a pump overrun boiler stat and a standard boiler stat on certain boilers, like profiles.
Yeah.
I had to know all that stuff. Not profiles, ultimates, glowing ultimates. I had to know that stuff before I didn't know where it went in the boiler, but I knew what the part was.
Yeah.
That's how you become a good breakdown engineer then, I
That's a
suppose.
good apprenticeship.
And then, and then they put me out with an installer. Once I got good working with him, honestly, for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, all I did was sweep up and put rubbish in boxes.
Yeah.
And carry stuff. He didn't ever let me solder. I could wire a heating system before I could solder. He wouldn't let me solder because a solder is a proper problem to find a leak.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd done the electrics wrong. It was turn it on, pop. Let's find the problem.
I'm glad you've mentioned that because there's this thing between electricians and plumbers of what is the hardest job or what is the most pain in the arse or what you'd rather do. I'd rather, if I could go now, I'd probably rather be a Sparks because like
Definitely,
you say, like not that we like Sparks, but what I mean is, like you say, if you get a leak, that is an issue, isn't it?
Drain it down.
You don't have to drain a fuse board down, do you? So
No.
yeah.
You have to get all them ones and zeros out. So my brother's an electrician, and my brother works at TA Horn as well. He was going to be a gas engineer,
Right.
and he was on the commercial division, and he hated it. Absolutely hated everything about it. He's now an electrician for TfL. He loves it.
Oh really?
It's like a job, but not really.
Right. Okay.
Because it's gets there for 8, he's home by 3 every day,
Nice.
has an hour lunch. Has to start at a yard and end at a yard, but yeah, he works on the whole network. It's a bit of a
sounds.
it's a nice job.
Yeah,
it's a
sounds
nice
good.
job.
Sounds good.
It's like a part-time job that pays full-time money.
Brilliant.
So
how long was you at that company for?
about 4 years.
Then you
So
went
I
up on
basically
your
got qualified, and then 6 months later,
Yeah.
they tried to force me into a position where I didn't want to be.
Right.
Basically service-only role, and I just left.
Mm.
What, and started on your own then, or?
No, I went to another company called Robert Heath, based in New Malden, South London.
Right.
They're same thing, all council contracting. And then I lasted 9 months there until I got in an argument with someone in a HRPC when that was still around.
Right.
And then he offered me a job and said, I'll pay you a lot more. You'll earn double or triple what you're earning at Robert Heath.
All right.
But you have to be a subbie. So
Yeah.
he forced me down that path to be a subbie. But that company was relentless. Like, people that have worked there, they're no longer around.
Right.
The boss is still the scary fella.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But 21 jobs in a day. I'd cover everything north of the Thames in London, inside the M25, north of the Thames, and 21 jobs a day, and there's no giving it back. Trying to give a job back was met with abuse, threats of violence.
Are you all right did you want to talk about this?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
What sort of abuse did you have in violence?
Just threats.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be fucking giving work back. Who do you think you are? Look how much money we pay you.
Yeah.
It was a hot. But what it was, the way that worked, and this is why I got good at breakdowns. It is to do with that company, right? When I work for social housing, it's very easy to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Get it wrong. What does it matter? It sounds bad, but the tenant's going to be annoyed. The company, the expectation, the standard of engineering is not particularly high.
Yeah.
Because it's an easy job to get. It's quite a comfortable job. But then when I moved out of that, this company was a profit share. You got a fixed fee for a repair, which back then was 55 quid. 57 quid, I think it was actually. But you paid for half the cost of the parts. So you only got 57 quid for a job.
Right.
If you needed a £100 PCB, you're getting 7 quid to go diagnose, go back and fit that part. You're getting 7 quid. If you fit in a £400 heat exchanger, right, you're losing money. You'll get a minus put against the job, and so it costs you money. So guess what? You ain't going fan PCB gas valve.
No,
Right?
definitely not. Yeah.
You're doing everything you can to get that down to one part.
Yeah.
Only one part to fix this boiler. And that makes you good, right?
How did they tie people in with all the violence and profit share and all the threats?
Money.
Yeah.
It was money. Yeah. They kept you working there because you were paid good money. But I will say, when I left there, I was still owed £11,000 by them. I only worked for them 9 months.
Bloody hell.
And I was owed 11 grand, and I'd put through my books 69 grand.
Bloody hell.
So that tells you the sort of money.
That's a lot of PCB changes, isn't it?
Yeah, money talks.
No, yeah, but remember, you're doing 2 days work a day.
Yeah.
And it was brutal. It was brutal. It was hard.
But like you say, it's sort of like moulded you into what you are now, where you say you have to diagnose. I think I've seen you diagnose something down to a diode or something on a PCB before. It's like
change the capacitor on a board.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do these things, but I'll just say I can do it if need be, right?
Yeah. But you acknowledge that you can actually see exactly where on the PCB where it's gone wrong and say that's what's doing it. Whereas a lot of people just go, do a PCB like that.
When you can fix a Valent Ecotech PCB for 24 quid.
Yeah, and how much they are, 240.
And when I say 24 quid, I mean, it's got that fault. It's got I don't know, I'm trying to think now. My brain is hungover.
Yeah.
Right? F73. You walk in, it's got F73. The display's bouncing around all over the place. I know I don't need to go any further than that.
Yeah.
Take that board out, change some parts on it that cost me 24 quid, put that board back in, it's done.
I don't know anyone that changes parts on the PCB.
No, I don't do it either because you're not allowed.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
But
I'm saying I could.
Yeah.
I know how much it will cost me to do it, and I don't have to work out what's wrong.
No.
I can just blanket it. If I'm getting the gear out to do the soldering, the this, the that.
Yeah.
Do I want to go take every part out, test it, or do I just blanket, fit 7 bits, and and walk away? So, but that's all from a need of I'm going to spend 150 quid or I'm going to spend 24 quid. The amount of companies I worked at where people don't change a synchron motor in a 2-port or 3-port, right? And I'll go,
yeah. People just change the whole thing.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
I have changed a few, to be fair.
I don't get that. A synchron motor is easy to change.
Yeah.
For me, as long as you can get the valve moving with your fingers, so a bit of WD-40, get that thing moving with your fingers, synchron motor, job done.
Yeah. No, mate, you're right. It's all about, obviously, you shouldn't have to just chuck stuff away, should you, and put something new in, do you know what I mean?
We're all trying to be environmentally friendly.
I know.
Put that new high-efficiency boiler in.
Yeah. We'll get onto that in a bit, but I think the first video I see of yours talking about Ecotechs, I think it was the pump hack. My mate told me about it.
Yeah, that's a terrible video.
But it's a handy video.
It
got me out of
trouble.
speed,
yeah.
And I was like, because I remember, and do you know how many times I've rerun that back and then played it again, rerun it back, played it again, because I was on the site going, how did he do this? Do you know what I mean?
It was a bad video. That was because that was...
My mate told me about it in the merchants. He said, try this hack. Ain't you seen it yet? And I'm like, no, what is it? And look, and it worked for what I was doing it for, as far as I remember,
But that's it, because they're 2-speed pumps. If one of the windings fails, you get a boiler that's running fine, then suddenly overheats because it steps down to low speed or whatever. And if you're paying for pumps, and you know there's 2 windings and you can lock it on one or the other, then lock it on one or the other, and you fix the boiler potentially, or you've at least got it out of trouble.
Yeah,
you've got the customer out of trouble.
Yeah,
and but these are the sorts of things that Christmas Eve, when you're meant to be off for the next week, that you've got to do. You've got to find a way of doing it. You can't. God, I remember Christmas Eve when I tried to get a Keston pump working in the C55. It was working when I got there, but they had intermittent problems.
Yeah.
I opened it up to bleed it. Sometimes you just touch a pump and it just dies. It died Christmas Eve on a Keston, where there's no chance of me having a pump.
No.
And the customer's very posh, very irate, because they had 16 people or something coming for.
Of course they did.
Yeah. And how I'd ruin their Christmas, and they would see that I'd never work again, and all this nonsense.
Oh,
right? It was, that was good days, man.
So you was at that company for 11 months.
9 months. So I had that company for 9 months. I was at Robert Heath and the other company for 9 months.
Okay.
So
9 months, 69 grand. They owed me 11 when I left.
So then you went on your own.
Then I went on my own.
You went on your own,
and you realise getting repair work through the door like that, because that's all I did. Service and repair, nothing else. There isn't.
I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's why I didn't do any boiler breakdown for years, and I'm not going to say that I'm a good engineer, because I'm not a good engineer by any chance in that sorts of things. I can muddle myself through things. I can get around things. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of us out there, like that. Yeah.
But we all do that. Every time you turn up to a job, you've never seen that boiler before.
Yeah.
All your way through it.
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm no different.
Ring the manufacturer. Can you help me, mate?
Yeah.
Well, you're a little bit different, innit? Because you're a lot more knowledgeable. I'm not as knowledgeable as the engineer out there who's going out there every day, because I had my own business where I was doing. One day I'd be doing plumbing. One day I'd be doing fitting a boiler. The next day I might be doing a bloody bathroom. Do you know what I mean? So
it was like a breakdown specialist.
And then I'm the guy they phone, because everyone thinks you're a plumber or a heating engineer. He'll come around and fix it. Well, I've not got my van loaded out with like every single. Not everyone's got every single part, but breakdown.
Yeah.
No, it ain't gonna happen. I'm going to that job. I'm going to diagnose. Then I'm going to go to the shop, and then I'm going to come back. Yeah. And hopefully, that is,
you've got it right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the realism.
But that pain of getting it wrong and I'd be stood there in the customer. Do you think I've got good because I've experienced that so much?
Yeah.
I was only done install.
Yeah, me too.
But I come from a heating background, and so when you start doing install, people want you to do plumbing. I remember I'd never done waste pipes, or the only waste pipe I'd ever done was condensers. That's it.
Yeah.
The first job I ever done actual drainage work was in Winchmore Hill. The library was across the road. That's how I learned to do soil and vent. I went to the library and I got a book and I sat and read it. This is not a joke. I sat and read it in the library.
Yeah.
Right? Read how to do it, read all the standards and that. And then I went back to that house and done it. And that house, the drainage is still fine.
Yeah.
But that's because YouTube weren't around then.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Whereas now YouTube's around, you could Google how to do it. You get a video and you could watch it.
Yeah, and it's essentially now why you're here. Because how did you start that? What made you get into doing YouTube videos?
So I was working at a company that had a lot of engineers, 40-something engineers. I was doing the quality control. Basically, all I was doing was complaints and jobs with multiple visits that couldn't be fixed. And the thing I'll say about that company, they have the best engineers I've ever worked with. They're all paid a lot of money. They very, very good breakdown engineers. So I felt privileged to go out after them and try and find out what was wrong with stuff. Yeah. But because they were good engineers, that company gave me the time. If I went out and spent half a day there, they didn't care as long as it got fixed.
Yeah.
So having that time and that, but I realised I was going to the same problems. And number one problem was misdiagnosing a domestic hot water flow sensor, a 3-wire flow sensor. So that's the very first video I done. And the reason I done it is because I was filming these problems for these guys and putting on a WhatsApp group so they could all be aware of these situations. So I'll give you an example was RI, Worcester RIs on Freeport systems running continuously, and they need a little suppressor fitted. But so do Ideal Logics. They have the same problem. And the boiler that first started, that was Glow and Micron.
Right.
Yeah, would run with getting backfeed voltage from a Freeport. Putting that video out there to them guys, they all knew these few boilers are commonly doing this. If I get it, I won't just change the Freeport and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Because you change a Freeport in that situation. If the Freeport was it's only in one mode that Freeport would send that voltage and run them boilers. Things like that, it was helping them out.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, let's put it out there for everyone. Why not show everyone? The thing is, if you can, a rising tide raises all ships. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can bring up the level of skill in a whole industry, right? I'm not saying that's what I'm doing, but if you could do that, what you get is you'll get customers who have a local engineer they trust now, because engineers haven't got a bad reputation for being crap and ripping people off, and that, because that's where, back in the early noughties, that's where the gas industry was at. Every gas engineer was a con man out there ripping customers.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. But if you can, and so now everyone has insurance, right? Which means there's less independent work for me and for plumbers like me, gas engineers like me. So if everyone's got insurance, there's less work for us all. And that's all because back then people were out there ripping people off because they didn't know what they were doing. They were changing 5 parts on a boiler. And it was just a lack of training and education in the thing. So if it's out there, so what? It just makes all of us better.
Yeah.
And then if it makes all of us better and less customers find they don't trust people because we're all better, then the whole industry will improve.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about that earlier, about like people actually getting on you, because you get abuse on platforms, don't you? And you said earlier, I think, didn't you get an email from some?
Yeah, I got a two paragraph email. That's enough reading for me in a day. Right? So I've just given me a load of stick about all the money they pay for their training, and yet I'm putting all this stuff out on the internet. I don't know if you realise, none of my stuff was aimed at end users. I don't show them how to top up a boiler pressure.
No, that's it.
Right? I'd love to turn up to a job and top up boiler pressure for people, right? I love it. It sounds bad. I'm not there to show them that. I'm there to show an engineer how to fix something so he doesn't end up with egg on his face and feel that I've got this wrong.
Yeah, you're helping the industry, aren't you?
I'm trying not to help the customer. If they phone me, I'll give them the time and tell them how to do it. But I don't want that to be out there for everyone to see.
No.
Although it'd get more views and probably generate more revenue.
Yeah.
That's not what I've done it for.
Yeah.
It adds a bit of something different to your day to day, doesn't it, really?
Did you?
Rather than being fixing boilers all day, it adds something new and exciting to
Well, did you look at it that way? Did you look at it like branch another avenue? Because I know when I got on to, I try to like replicate some. You know what I mean? You learn stuff, and then you do your own tech videos, right? But it did.
He's one of them, is he?
Yeah.
And there's lots of people out there. I've done videos, and then a week later, someone else has done exactly the same thing. I look at that and I think, really?
I've not. I tell you what, I've not actually copied anyone. But I've seen ways of doing things and then show them, obviously, the way I was doing it, if I was doing it. Sometimes I think I've credited you before, actually, to be quite honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone does something with some self-gain, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
You got to, otherwise.
But it just gives another dimension to the monotonous side of it. The
self-gain there for me was, I don't like running a business. Okay, I don't like managing myself, let alone customers and stuff like that. I don't like that. I'm not good at it. I'm a gas engineer. I want to go out to work and do my job. That's it, right? So what I realised I could do with Heating Geek was, if I set up a business on the side that customers could go to after they'd seen a few videos and know what I'm talking about. If you go on that website, I've gone down the McDonald's route, right? You pay your money first. You pay me to come out. You pay a fixed fee, fixed labour fee. That business is going now, by the way. This is why I done it. You pay a fixed labour fee. Customer goes online, pays for it. Then I call them, say we're going to come out such and such day. Sounds bad, but if someone's give you 150 quid, that was our fixed labour fee. And then you say, I'm really sorry, can't come out till Wednesday. It's now Monday. That it sounds bad. They're more willing to wait because they've already committed to you, right?
Yeah.
So you get a bit of retention from that customer. you also never have to chase money for the labour ever because it's already paid.
Right.
So they paid you up front.
Yeah.
So then you go out and you're like, right, you need a fan. It's 120 quid. I'll be back tomorrow with one. I'll send you a link to pay for the fan.
Right.
They pay for the fan. But when you walk out of that job, you're paid.
Yeah.
All the admin, the raising an invoice and all that, well, that's all done for a website. It's done. You don't have to do any of that. That's how I set that up. But actually, that's hard to manage still.
Because not everyone wants to pay up front. So
exactly.
yeah, you could lose customers because they don't want to pay.
Yeah, but also that takes such a big initial investment in a website, in a payment portal, in a way of managing all of that, that I put an awful lot of money into it. It's probably broke even, but that's what I've done it for. But now I've realised that them private customers are still more of a pain in the arse than an actual.
You get nightmare customers.
Yeah, so I'd rather not for the money that business turns over, which I promise you is 10 to 20 grand a year, right? That's it. It's not worth it. My main business, doing
what you do,
which is contracting work. It's all contracting work.
Yeah.
So all of that effort is managed by someone else.
So you just on the tools every day?
Because you love it.
I love the work. I wake up, I go to work as if I was employed by someone else.
Yeah.
And that's how I wanted this business to be, because I don't want to run a business. And anything that makes running a business easier for people who are plumbers and mechanics, and anything that makes running a business easier is really important. And people can't see it initially. Yeah. People think they've got to manage their customer. They've got to do all of the, it's only when you step back, like my first business lasted 10 years and I went, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
You're going to come out of gas, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I had enough. I went and worked for Valent, the manufacturer, realised I couldn't live on that money because my lifestyle would change because I was earning reasonable money.
Yeah.
So I come back to my second business with a direction. And I think that's the key thing with business. You need a direction. And the direction was, get me out of the office 100%. I don't want to go in an office. I want all the management of stuff done on an app, online, on somewhere where I don't have to be in my office. It's all got to be managed by someone else. Yeah. So I knew I needed to get, the way I looked at it, I needed to get enough money to get a member of office staff. I wanted them to work from home because I couldn't afford an office. And so I was like, if I can get 30 grand in the bank, I'm covered.
Yeah.
The member of office staff I got actually cost an awful lot more than that. But they had an awful lot of experience.
Right, yeah.
As in 20 years of experience.
Sometimes it's worth paying the extra money and to get the right person.
So 30 grand in the bank, I thought all he's got to do is keep the work coming in the way it is, and I can still pay his wages. Doesn't have to improve anything. We don't have to get more staff.
Yeah.
We can still pay his wages, and he's allowing me to not do the stuff I hate, which is worth the money. It's worth the money. If you can outsource, it's worth the money.
Yeah.
So that's how this business started. And
how long did it take to get to the point where you could just leave everyone else to manage it and you're just on the tools?
Of conscious effort, not of thinking about it, of actually putting effort in, I would say it was about 2 years. Yeah. But I thought about it for 3 before I put the effort in. So it's about 5 years before. So now we've got an office, we've got office staff managing all the work and putting it onto, things for engineers to do. And, we've got compliance and all that. So we're bigger than we were, but we could be a lot bigger, but I'm lazy. Everyone's lazy.
I am.
Human beings are lazy, So I said it to you earlier that for every 3 months of conscious effort, trying going after it, I will have 18 months of doing nothing, plodding along. I can't be focused and driven. And
I'm the same.
I think it depends what that goal is, doesn't it? If you've got an end goal, then it pushes you more to.
It's the same, and I'm gonna that big cringe. I do a bit of stand-up comedy now, and it's the same with that.
Is that what you call it?
It's a bit arse. No, but it's the same with that. It's sort of like you've got to you've got to do it. So then you'll really push it like for like a good few weeks of doing it, but then in the end you're just like, and then you'll take your foot off the gas, and you won't gig because you just like, and then you get lazy and you don't rehearse. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just doing this to plug. I'm just seeing it as an analogy sort of thing.
Yeah.
Of the same of that mindset.
It takes
of
a conscious effort.
Yeah.
Not a. If I just keep working hard, it will happen. It doesn't.
No.
Doesn't happen.
No.
And that's where one man bands get stuck. They just.
And I think that's why I've just been that. I've not been a successful businessman. I'm just not successful, but I'm still not. But I'm just.
No, you are. You've done well.
I'm just plodding.
Build up that company.
Plodding.
The thing is, your goal was to not manage the business.
My goal was to be lazy, to be an engineer. To be an engineer.
You've reached that goal. You've reached that goal. So you've done well to get to that point. To get to that point, it's not easy. To build up a team, that's the hard part. You've done the hard part. Now you're being lazy on the tools.
Yeah, but we've got.
And you can come and do podcasts whenever you want, innit? You know what I mean?
So have a day off. Like I said, got a day off today here.
Do you want to come in next week?
And tomorrow I've got some Worcester training, oil boiler training. Sounds bad. I don't really need it, but it's a day off. It's an excuse, and some of the companies we work for want proof that we're CPDs, continual professional development. Is that what it's called? Yeah, CPD. Trying to not get mixed up with marijuana.
CBD, isn't it?
It's continual professional development. They want to show that we do that as a business.
Yeah.
So it's part of it. We do oil for some people, and they want to see that. So I just go on a bit of oil training with Worcester, and that's tomorrow. And the rest of the week, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't got a clue until it's on the app.
Mate, that's a good way to be. You've got no stress, and it's your own business. That's not
the most stressful thing I've got going on now is I've got 2 80-litre vessels in the back of my van in boxes that are just driving me mad. I want to truck them away, but I can't because they're for a job that I don't know when it's booked in. Yeah. That's my stress. I have to do that.
I'll open the back of my van doors and you can see what stress is. It's just.
I used to work with a guy like that. Open the door, it all falls out.
Yeah.
It's
I can't work like that.
Yeah.
I have worked like that. I can't.
No, I can't work like it either, to be honest with you.
At the end of the day, you just chuck the tools in.
Yeah, I'm like that all the time. But the thing is, right, I've not got, at the moment, I'm going through a bit of a transition period. We won't get into that. But I've not got a base.
It's coming along nicely.
Yeah. I've got I only just fell in there, Ollie. Oh shit, I've got tits, isn't it?
That jumper used to be loose last
I know it was. I've shrunk it in the tumble dryer.
Oh, that excuse.
Yeah, I've not got a base. I've just not got a base. Everything I've got at the moment, tools-wise, is in my van. The whole working, it's just no base, no lock-up, no nothing at the moment because I'm going for. I've got a small garage somewhere at an undisclosed location that I've got a few bits in, but it's literally working day to day and picking up stuff as and when you need it. I've not got stores or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've got a couple of storage places now.
Yeah.
One in North London and one in Watford. It makes life easier.
Yeah.
It enables, because obviously now I do a lot more commercial work personally. We own a lot of the tooling for that rather than hire it. We've got 24-hour access to it. We're also building up close ties with a supplier that will then give us 24-hour access to commercial pipe, fittings, pumps, bellows, things that fail at 3 o'clock in the morning on housing estates. And I'm trying to build the ability to be 24-hour reactive with getting parts.
Right.
So one of our big customers, we won because we went out on a Saturday. I went out on a Saturday to a care home. No gas, a solenoid valve had failed, an electronic solenoid valve had failed, and as well as failing, it was leaking gas.
Oh.
And the only place I could get one was BES.
Right.
Down in Birmingham.
Oh,
So I drove from Aylesbury to Birmingham and back while someone else went to another supplier and picked up a load of crimp fittings and one of our press guns. And we got that all fixed that day.
Yeah.
And then got told by the person, we were contracting for someone else, then got told by that person that we weren't getting paid because we didn't get authorization. So I said that to the client whose care home it was, and they were like, of course you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Let's get you onboarded with us and we'll pay you directly.
Right.
And now they stopped using the other company just like that because of one thing.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to get stuff fixed. But now we're trying to remove that and make it, we've got a London base for all this equipment. So we can be reactive. Whereas even the big boys, even companies turning over $500 million a year, aren't as reactive as we can be.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to do now.
It sounds good.
Just
is that sort of, I was going to say, what's your future goals with the business? And
I don't know, because I'm on one of them.
Be more lazy. I'm on the
18-month lazy bit right now.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I'm trying to build that side of the business, but I'm not. There's no conscious effort right now.
You're sort of at a good point now where you can just sort
It's easy to plod.
Yeah.
That's the worst bit.
Yeah. We talk about like nightmare customers and all that. What has been your worst? Can you talk about it? Your worst customer that you can remember or experience?
I can tell you. I can. And it got some resolution this year. So this customer is from my first business.
Right.
When I done install, he's an architect. Okay. So he would send me over a spec. I would price it. He would negotiate with me, beat me down on price. Say he wants to pay part cash, part thing. Can I knock that? All this sort of nonsense on every job, right? Very tiring. What I started to realise with him was he would beat me down on price, but he would have given the customer the original price, and he was making the difference. And he would ask for that bit to be paid in cash. And he would think he was doing me a favour by saying it's 12 grand job. Oh, they're going to give you the last 5 in cash, but remember 2 of that's mine. Yeah.
Right.
So I'd collect the money.
Yeah.
I'd now have cash that I've got to deal with because I don't like cash. I don't want the in-hand revenue after me.
No.
Right. I've now got to bank it and do all this nonsense with it. And then I've got to give him his cash that he doesn't declare and doesn't do. So he'd done this with me on a couple of jobs where he'd, out the blue, let me know that, by the way, the customer's paying this extra bit. And one of the jobs was the last day I was there. I was just finishing up some waste pipe. I was on a ladder. He phoned me. He kept phoning me. It was like, I'm thinking, what's going on with this guy? I answered the call. I'm like, I'm on a ladder. Like, give me half hour. I'll phone you back. He said, no, it's important. You're going to get some money. I'll be round in an hour, but she's going out. You need to collect the money and give it to me. I'm like, okay. And the woman came out and said, Ollie, here's that last payment for you. I'm like, all right. And I'm thinking, this is for the architect. What do you mean last payment? And it was him doing the same thing again. So I looked at it. It was $1,000. I said, do you know what? I've decided you can keep that. I give the money back to her, finished up what I was doing, left, never worked for the architect again. Obviously, he phoned me for his money, and I told the lady she could have it discount for being such a good customer, because she was a good customer.
Yeah,
she
no, right, yeah.
Every day. She's making you 2 meals a day, this lady.
Yeah.
Like, lovely. So, yeah, I stopped working for him, but he, like other things, I done a nail salon, pedicure place. Well, I don't know what they're called. Yeah, all the
beauty salon type.
Yeah, where they do all of that. I done that for him. He phoned me and said when the tile delivery gets here, you need to phone me because the tiler's got to come round. I'm like, okay. It's on a high street. I don't know if it was Travis or someone turned up and just dropped it on the pavement outside.
Right.
And I thought he needed the tiler to turn up to get it all inside. I phoned the tiler. The tiler turned up, loaded 1 pallet of tiles into his van, then said, mate, can you move them for us? Which I said no. Tyler then was all irate, moving all the stuff into the job. I'm not moving a ton of tiles into the job for someone else. Well, I've got my own problems,
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
And then I turned up at this architect's house, and he was doing the floor in his swimming pool. He's got a swimming pool, by the way, in his back garden. Heated outdoor swimming pool. He was doing all the tiles for his swimming pool area. And when I say pool area, he's got a pool table, he's got a kitchenette, he's got a bathroom, shower room.
Yeah. So
he's made that customer buy double the stuff, and he's fitting it in his own house. So that is the worst customer I've ever had. I swore to myself, if ever I went back past this house, because I've done a lot of work there, I'd do something. And so twice this year I've been working on his road, and both times at 5 a.m. I've turned his water off. Right? Just to get him. And this is 10 years later.
Yeah.
It's just I've never been back in this area, but fuck him.
Yeah.
So turn this water off 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in January as well, right? Yeah. We're talking snow and ice.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder if he knew, like, if If you went to where is it outside? Obviously the Stopcock.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
it's
go
outside.
inside.
Yeah.
I wonder if he knew and went out there to check.
Oh, he would know how to do it. It's just the fact that he's.
Does he know it was you? You reckon?
I don't know. He's got a camera on his house. Of course he has.
He's gonna know
He has to
after
have a camera
this.
because there's so many
He
people that
watches
hate him.
Oh, right, one of them ones.
But you know, that's life.
Yeah, fuck around.
Karma,
Get your
innit?
water turned off, innit? Yeah.
I've got another customer that last year, the geezer's got an Instagram profile. He's got 50,000 followers. Right. He does videos like, I don't know what my favourite colour is, and then he pans round to his 2 Ferraris, right? Yeah. Like, you know, very humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he he does all that, right? And he hasn't paid me a 750 quid of a 1,500 quid job. He's just palmed me off and just, you know, that irritates me.
Yeah, we get them them sort of stories all the time. It's mainly the people with money or showing that they've got money, or whether it's all on tick. Them ones are the ones that are the worst ones that I find.
So I do my research on, it's not on tick with him. He's got a very successful business, earning millions and millions of pounds. He just hasn't bothered. They've issued a CCJ against him. Well, his business, they didn't pay me. But yeah, people like that, like it's all.
Just don't see
He's got this big profile. Yeah. You know, he's a big. Like I could just absolutely destroy him. And so, like, and they took 500 quid out of my bank account after I told them I didn't want to be a member. Right? I then said, hold on, I said I didn't want to be a member, and you've still taken the money. And they said, no, you didn't tell us in time. I said, but it's a recorded phone call. So they said, well, we haven't got it. So I've done what's called a subject access request.
Yeah.
That's where they have to give you all the information they've got on you. And they gave me the recorded phone call of me saying I didn't want to be part of it 2 weeks before they took the money. They still refused to give it back. I took them to court.
I had something similar to that with I won't name them, but an app company took money. I was subscribed up to them, and then one day, and I finished the subscription, and I'd finished paying for them, and then one day I was in my van, I looked at my bank account, and I had no money in it. They'd take 6,500 quid out of it, like for a new subscription, and I was like, "The fuck's going on here? Like, why have they? I'm not part of this anymore. I unsubscribed, sent emails or whatever, and they've taken it out." And he said, "Oh, sorry about it, but you didn't. When you unsubscribed, you didn't put something else, or do you know what I mean? There was one of them." And I said, "Well, get the money back in my account because I ain't agreed to this." And he said, "Well, I can't." And I did have to get a little bit trappy, like, do you know what I mean? And a little bit, I'm not normally like that. And I said to him, "You need to get that in my bank, back in my bank." I had bills coming out. I said, "You need to get that back in my bank today." And he went, "Well, it's going to take 3 or 4 days." I went, "No, you pay it from your personal account and you put it into me." And I did say to him, "Or I'm going to fucking ruin you over social media." And then within a few hours, it was back in my bank account. But there's always them sort of things, isn't there? Them like them little
rated people. I put it on social media when I issued a CCJ against them.
Yeah.
I filmed me doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I would say to anyone out there working for themselves, to go to small claims court and win against a bigger company is actually not very difficult.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
It's 60 quid, submit. It's take an evening and do it and see how easy it is. And once you've done it and you realise that it is so straightforward, you could, I mean, mate, I could be doing it to lots of people every year. Yeah. Don't bother. But it's a card I can play if necessary.
I suppose a bigger company's got more to lose than you with your like 60 quid CCJ or whatever. Yeah, is that what we're getting at?
Well, I've never taken someone to court and lost.
Right.
It's not saying I like to do, but if people are, well, mate, having multiple Ferraris and then not paying a bill, he deserved it.
It's just a liberty, isn't it?
And rated people who promised me the world, provided me with terrible jobbies. I'm saying this because this is all the stuff that I put to them. None of this is made up. They probably are a good business somewhere in there, but for me they weren't.
Yeah.
They needed to have a CCJ because they wouldn't pay. They didn't pay.
Yeah.
They gave me back my money, but they didn't pay the court costs. So I was still able to issue a CCJ because they didn't pay the court cost. They didn't pay the 60 quid.
Right.
They gave me the 540 quid back, but didn't refuse to pay the court cost. Well, why would you do that? Why would you not pay, like...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Life's too short. I generally try and avoid the conflicts because I just can't. I'm too lazy. I can't be bothered for it. Right?
It's not worth it, is it?
Yeah. You keep going on.
But for someone lazy, you've done well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the. Where do you see now? Because a lot of people out there watching this will want to know if you're going to do any more YouTube videos or any more content sort of thing. Are you planning on doing that?
I still film.
Yeah.
Any interesting job where I'm allowed to film, I get permission, but I still film it.
Right. So you've got potentially loads of content.
Yeah, I've got loads of content. I toyed with trying to get a video editor because, again, I want to outsource the bit that I'm not very good at, not very quick at.
Yeah.
I'd like to outsource that, but I wasn't able to find someone to do it.
Right.
But when I've got time, I will get back to it. I will get back to it. I'm still filming for that reason, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not really filming commercial work because people aren't really too interested in that. They want the domestic stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got lots and lots filmed. It's just hard work. Editing's a lot of effort. Like someone's gonna have to edit this. That's
not me, mate.
Feel sorry for them.
Probably at that.
Not me.
3 cameras, 3 mics. Yeah, that's a whole.
It's a pro setup here, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got it locked down, didn't we?
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who's a gas engineer going out fixing boilers,
exactly. That's the
you're
thing.
not an editor, right?
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's another job to learn, isn't it? Really.
I've got quite a lot of videos out there that somehow in the edit I screwed them up.
Right.
As in, so it's all gone fine, and then I watch it back, and the sound's gone, the audio's gone to crap for some reason. Start again. Get it? It's never happened.
Excuse me, love. I just need to break down your boiler again so I can re-record.
The original footage is good.
Right. Yeah.
I watch it somehow during the edit. I've messed it up.
Have you voiced over it before?
And I just can't be bothered to sort it out because I don't know how. I don't know what I've done wrong. I just forget it. That video is a forever. On my dashboard of videos, never to be seen because I just lost all faith.
Do you watch any content?
Do you know what? I didn't used to. When I started this, I didn't know there was someone called PB Plumber, Andy Cam, Plumber Parts. None of these people existed to me.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah,
right? None of them. I'd never heard of any of them. Now I watch. This is weird. It's only recently, the last sort of couple of months, I watched a company called Barton Oil Boilers, Barton Oil Burners, very new channel, like less than 1,000 subs.
Yeah. And
Plum Like Tom, seen him?
No, I don't think Plum Like Tom.
I think it's Plum Like Tom. Yeah.
He might have, is he on TikTok as well?
He might be. I don't know. I'm not on TikTok.
Oh, you're not on TikTok.
No, I hate Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I hate it. Mate, what a place just to promote yourself and show how great everything in your life is. It's just, I don't like it.
That's fair enough, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you
find yourself getting sucked into it.
You do.
Well.
But you keep yourself to yourself.
Yeah, you are very much your own person, isn't you? It's like you don't get sucked into any of.
I don't listen to the radio. I don't read news. My headlines come from.
That's the same as me. I don't watch the news, radio.
This is it. As I walk to pay for fuel or get food in a petrol station, I read the headlines. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
If you ask me any general question, I'm not.
Anything?
You put me in a quiz. Don't ask me now. If you put me in a quiz, I'm rubbish. Work related, I'm okay, but anything general knowledge, I'm just no. I don't listen to it. I don't listen to the outside world.
Don't listen. You
don't. It don't affect me. Then I don't care.
You don't watch any. Nor like I said earlier, you didn't even know what Only Fools and Horses was.
I've stopped watching films since I was a kid. I just.
Yeah. What we had a discussion about that the other day. What film is it asked you had you seen? And you don't know, yeah.
I don't know,
mate. Yeah.
So I'm terrible. I'll watch a film and then you could ask me about it a month later. I couldn't tell you the title. I couldn't tell you the plot. For me, it's just I veg in front of the TV and it doesn't really go in.
Right.
You know, I'm watching Kin at the moment.
Kin
is a BBC series.
Nah.
It's set in Ireland about a massive drug dealing family.
Oh, I think I've actually heard of that. Yeah.
Yes, but generally. Nothing I watch is on TV. unless I'm really, really wrecked on a Sunday watching Columbo repeat. Because it's easy watching.
What's that? What's his famous saying? Just one, was it? Is his go at the end? Just one.
Just another. Oh, yeah, it's like just another thing.
Yeah,
just one more thing.
Just one more thing, and then he solves it right there and then, doesn't he?
But he has to root around in his pockets for 5 minutes to find the pen. Yeah, it's just
You heard of Columbo?
No.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Bloke in a rain jacket.
I hadn't heard of the two Runnies.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, two
I
Runnies.
shouldn't
Never heard
have
of
that,
it.
should I?
No, never heard of the two Runnies. We said that we did a picture the other day and said we
No,
look
you
like
said
the
that.
two Runnies. Yeah. Well, yeah, I said it because you didn't know who they were.
No.
Tried videoing something or other for Instagram.
I didn't realise. I tried to put it on a time lapse and I put the fucker in slow motion. I come back to it, it's like 20 more. I made a thing of it in the end, but all just for shits and giggles in the end. Everything's going digital now, isn't it? Most things are going digital, but I know I was like you. I'd be more comfortable writing on a pad and seeing it there at first, but then when I switched over, I was like, I ain't got to worry about all these frigging old pads now sitting around with like
Coffee stains all over.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Or them fading in the sun when they've been on your dashboard, and you're like, I wonder who that one's for. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, when it's all backed up, you can just reference it, and then especially if you quoting, invoicing, then you just type in their name and it's all there. It's set up for you. Bosh, done. And you're like, it's not really paperwork anymore, is it?
Quoting is it's such a just anything. If you've got to fill out your address for your business, like imagine you're doing 10 services a day and you've got to fill. Like, I get bored. The worst bit is I don't even know the telephone number for my own business. I just put my mobile number down because I don't know it.
Yeah.
And I can't be bothered to get my phone out to find it.
I don't even know the office number either.
I 0203 it starts.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is something I don't know.
It takes me about 5
I don't
years
ring
to
it, so why am
memorise
I
the
going to
phone
remember
number.
the number?
Exactly that. So, you know.
I've just got a new phone number because I had to get a new phone for various reasons, and I still ain't learnt it, and all I know is the last 3 numbers. So when I leave a voicemail, it's got 554 on the end. Give us a phone back. That's it.
I once toyed with working off pads, but getting a click, a stamp with my details on it, and then stamping the carbon copy.
Yeah.
By the time you've done that, get an app.
Yeah.
Get an app. It's true. For me to go to the app we used was a massive commitment. I didn't want to. We used Google Calendar. I think we had 3 engineers at the time. We just used Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Everyone had the app, and the office could log in and put the work on them. And then you just get an app, and you think one, if it saves the office 1 hour a day, it's paid for itself.
So yeah, thank you for coming on, Ollie, and I'm sure everyone will want to see more YouTube videos from you. So
I'll try.
Hopefully you'll get that video editor or get your tools out yourself and start editing some videos.
If only there was a video editor close at hand.
Robbie. But yeah, no, we hope
a bit of moonlighting.
But it definitely helps a lot of people, your knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, it helped me. Like I say, like through lockdown and that, I've picked up a load of tips, tricks, and stuff that I would never have known. But because I think social media in that time sort of like exploded, didn't it, through lockdown? But
and the channel is Heating Geek.
Heating Geek, yeah.
Thanks very much, Ollie.
That's
Cheers,
all right.
mate.
No, it's good to be here.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Yeah, breakfast was great. Thanks for that breakfast.